Focus on the indifference when you're manifesting specific persons, when you're manifesting money. When you imagine what it would be like to be with them and you get the the buzz on your phone or the knock on the door, or you open your bank account and there's a lot of money. It got to the point where I used to almost literally change my depression to like euphoria in a split second, just if my girlfriend told me she loved me. I remember moments where I would be in a bad mood. I wouldn't want to talk to my mom, right? But once I got that "I love you, baby" from my girlfriend, it was like, oh, I can breathe now. I can be happy now. I'm safe, right? And it got to the point where even there was a part of me that was well aware of just how icky that was, right? But you see, that is an extreme example. But when you put your SP on the pedestal, when you put your money, your business on the pedestal, or maybe your finances on a pedestal, it pushes you off because there can only be one. Like when the scriptures say there's only one God, you can't serve two masters. You can't serve yourself as being the Almighty, but then money is like, it's this unachievable thing. You'll be lucky if you can, make $5,000 this month, right? Nonsense. You're worth way fucking more than that. Do you realize your fucking worth? Do you realize how fucking much of a God you are? If you were to realize your potential, your power, you would never be fucking concerned about being left on red ever again. You would not ever be concerned about, oh shit, I have to spend $500 to do this. Oh God, another bill. Do you think God's fucking care about bills? You see, whenever you are manifesting something, you got to tap into that indifference. Okay? That's why I say that when you do imaginal acts, most of the times the reason why your imaginal acts seem more like wishful thinking rather than them actually working, or you seeing any sort of sign that they worked at all, is because most of the times, you guys, you are doing the imaginal acts where you get the text message and it's like this exciting thing, right? You are on a date with them and they're telling you "I love you," and it's the most beautiful thing that ever happened to you. I mean, some of you guys have children and your SP telling you "I love you" is more important than that. Like, what the fuck? Guys, I want you to get to the point where when you see them telling you "I love you," it's like you're smacking your gum and you're like, okay, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I love you too. It's like you're so busy focused on your business. It's like, okay, she told you "I love you." Okay, yeah, that's great. Tap into that indifference. Tap into that arrogance. Like, of course she fucking loves me, right? Like, guys, I've been in so many relationships, not trying to show off, but it's just facts, okay? So I tell you this not to be, egotistical, right? But to let you know that you're not dealing with some, loser who just has never had pussy before, okay? I mean, look, I know that you don't have to be experienced in relationships to help people, but it does help, okay? Even before I got into the law of assumption, guys, I've had plenty of women who, I mean, again, it sounds like I'm gloating, but a lot of them wanted to marry me, right? And it was usually me who either fucked it up or who just was not ready for that commitment. And I know how it feels, okay? It doesn't matter how sexy she is. It doesn't matter how amazing she treats you. You will take it for granted, okay? And that's not always a bad thing, right? Because again, it's like the other day I bought a PS5, okay? And I'm not even a big video gamer, but I bought it because I like to play a little NBA 2K. I like to play a little bit of MLB, you know what I'm saying? Some UFC, a big UFC fan. And even when I was a kid, right, I was a little bit more into, video games when I was a child, right? But now as a man, especially with how busy I am, it's a nice console, right? And I was happy to get it. But even when I was a child, I would get those things, and after a while, I would forget that I would have them, And if anything, it would be more like, okay, great, I got the PS4. I got the PlayStation Portable, right? But it's like, okay, what next, right? You see, and a lot of you guys, you get the video game console, and it's like you buy a really cool game, but it's like now you want another game, right? If it was really so special to have that thing, you would be okay once you have it. But you see, you guys have got to understand, you are not chasing the specific person. You're not chasing the material amount of money. What you are chasing is the state of not having to hear the ego say, you don't have that PS5 yet. She still has left you on red. All your friends are getting married, but you're still single. This guy is Italian, and you've always had lack of success with Italian guys, and the more you fucking go throughout your year without having him as your boyfriend, that means that you suck. Even for me, it's been like that with certain white girls. I don't know what it is, but even though I've had some success with the snow bunnies, it's like I've for some odd reason had a weird assumption with white girls. And whenever I get rejected by a white girl, it's like, oh, okay, yep, of course, because I can only get Latinas, I can only get black chicks, I can only get even some Asians. I don't know what it is, right? But it's weird because I've had Asian girlfriends too, right? And those are the types of weird things that you will get, right? But if it's that example of a demographic thing where it's like, I don't know what it is, but I can just never get this ethnicity, or I can never get a man who is willing to commit. They only want me for my body, right? That's a very popular one from a lot of my female clients, right? You gotta see the guy who is willing to commit as just like a fucking, blue Sharpie. There's plenty of them to go around, of course. And I'm not saying plenty of them to go around meaning like, oh, that you have to just be okay with finding somebody else. No, I mean, you have had that success. You've been able to find men who are always wanting to commit since the beginning, right? One of the things that helps is revising your past. What I like to call rewriting your history. You go back in time in your head, maybe it's a sat session before sleep or whenever you fucking want, and you just simply see a quick little scene where you're talking to your friends and you're like, oh my gosh, Sarah, you always have these men practically throwing engagement rings at you. Do that. If you notice that you can never manifest a guy who wants to commit to you, or your SP doesn't want to commit to you, right? And if you're a dude and for some reason you've always had issues with your height, for example, right? You can just simply have an imaginal act where you're talking to your friend and they tell you, dude, it doesn't matter when you were in high school or whether you were in college, bro. Girls don't give a fuck about how short you are, dude. They always are fucking, banging your brains out, whatever, right? And you'd be surprised whenever you uncover those assumptions that you've been hidden from the past, everything starts to click, right? But whenever you do those imaginal acts and you try to, because most of the times, most of you guys do imaginal acts, right? Or if it's assumptions, right? Even with affirmations, even with affirmations, I do tell you guys to go above and beyond with them. But I've always said that if you're going to do affirmations about how obsessed your SP is with you, right? You got to give them a reason why, right? Because your ego is the one listening to this, okay? It's the chancellor who's going to decide if it's going to bitch to you later about it or not. You give it a reason. You say the reason why they cannot stop fucking blowing up my phone is because I'm the only one that fucking matters in this reality. Okay? They pay rent for me because they're living rent fucking free and I'm living rent free in their fucking head. Okay? They can't eat, sleep, or breathe apart from my permission. And I would even go as far as to say, motherfucker, let alone the fact that they're obsessed with me. The whole world is obsessed with me. The whole world worships me. Okay? All the religions try to be like me. All the gods try to be like me. All the fucking gods have statues of me in their temples. That's what I would say. Who gives a fuck? But the more you tap into indifference, the better. Now, to end this video, another practical way to do this, okay, and maybe I should have put this more at the forefront of the video because I know a lot of retention says that you guys click off before the goodies. So, but it's okay because I'm gonna make like 50 million more of these. I post daily either way, so who gives a fuck? But the way you do this too is like, because I know a lot of you guys are thinking, well, what if I work with them, or what if I see them a lot, and what if no matter how many times I imagine, I get nervous around them, right? Well, that's understandable. And first of all, you need to have forgiveness for yourself, right? Because this is not about like forcing you to just like go, you know, nervous system regulation. Like that's where I kind of draw the line. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, fuck that shit. Right? Nervous, regulate your ass, okay? But I like to see reality in the 3D like a multiple choice. Do with the options that you have available to you in the 3D, okay? Let's say you work with them, for example, and they make you nervous. You notice that with everybody else, you're calm, cool, collected, shoulders back, you know, posture's okay. But for some reason, right? For some reason, you get nervous around them, right? Because I had an SP once where when we would work at the restaurant and I would hand her the to-go bags, whenever she was waiting for them, I would just tense up, right? With everybody else, I didn't give a fuck, right? With everybody else, I would look away and just focus on something else because I didn't give a shit about them. But with her, I felt like I had to overdo it, right? I had to overcompensate. Well, I realized, okay, just ask yourself, what do you do when it's another person? Where is your attention, right? And I noticed I would try to see out of my peripherals, what is she doing? But with people who I'm not attracted to, I would look the other way. So then just simply fucking look the other way. No one says you have to make eye contact with your SP, right? The best way to act around your SP, if you have to see them all the time and they make you nervous, you don't have to learn looks maxing. You don't have to, you know, posture amazingly. Just give them polite indifference, okay? A lot of you guys are thinking, well, should I, you know, start this game where I learn how to be more charismatic, more social? That's 3D manipulation, right? If it's not natural, then it's not going to fucking work. And you're just proving to yourself that you don't have them, because when you're trying to force something, that's telling reality you don't have it. You just want to do polite indifference, okay? But I can go on all day about this. I'm probably can make like maybe 50 more million of these. But, and to be honest, I think I want to start a series that talks more about indifference and how to apply it to the law of assumption. But if you guys want more in-depth help on your situation, book a call with me. I would love to work with you. And join the membership, guys. If you want to know what's so special about it, check the community posts. The information is there, okay? I love you guys.